there, Leo. Welcome to your July 2020 love reading. It's Raina here. Okay, let's see what we get. This is for people who are single as well as people who are in relationships that they are not happy about. So, and you know, in those types of relationships, I'm mainly talking about relationships that are on the way out in one way or the other. The heart of the matter is the Queen of Pentacles, and this can be, I often say that Leo is a workaholic, and I've certainly read that, so that's probably why I say it. Ambitious, queen, you know, attaining that sense of authority and status. Pentacles related to work and material matters and things like that. So you put it together, what do you get? You get somebody who is very driven. And you get to a certain point in life when you realize that there are other important things in life. So you may be somebody in your 30s who has put your career first, and now you want to become a mother, or if you're a man, you want to become a parent, a father. The queen, you know, as in terms of being a mother, we could just say being a nurturer, being a parent. And yet there is that strong pull that the Pentacles represent. So maybe you've been working from home and you realize, hey, I can do this. But perhaps, even if you're single, this can be something that is a bit new to you, that it might even surprise you that you feel this way. Because in the past position, we have the Eight of Swords. This is a feeling of some kind of being trapped, of being oppressed, but by your own thoughts especially. And so I'm trying to think about astrological timing here. Oh, you know, here's the thing that's interesting. We just had a solar eclipse in your 12th house in Cancer, Leo. Just not too long ago. I'm recording this at the end of June, and it was several days ago. And the thing about it is, it was a new moon, you know, it's a solar eclipse, very powerful new moon, in the 12th house, which deals with karma, the past lives, and how they impact this life. And that kind of thing can leave a person feeling trapped. You know, the Eight of Swords can be those things that you tell yourself that trip you up, that keep you from achieving what you want to achieve in life. And the reason that I'm even bringing this up is because it really feels to me like you may be kind of breaking free from some of that karmic baggage. And just to clarify, my own interpretation of karma is about action. That's what the word means, and nothing more, nothing less. So in other words, if somebody is talking about karma, to me they're talking about things that they've done before, and if they have led to certain conditions, then that is it. It's nothing like punishment. It just is like a cause and effect. And even when it spans lifetimes, it's just, you know, the fruit being, coming to fruition in another lifetime. Or just the choice that a person makes to experience certain things. And so you may have felt, one of the big things that I think can happen is if somebody has a difficult childhood, it can make it hard for them to want to raise a family. So even for some of you, if you've put off having children until your 30s, it might have been because you were like you had an aversion to it, even though Leos love children. So these kinds of things have to be taken into consideration. Other than that, other than looking at it as feeling trapped from the past, or feeling trapped from your thoughts, this can indicate somebody, kind of getting in touch with their feminine side. Leo's a masculine sign. So if you're a woman, a female Leo, this is more of a homemaker type of a vibe. And it doesn't mean that you can't work from home either. Maybe you've been forced to, and I'm putting that in air quotes, and you realize, you discover that it has its perks. And it puts you in that domestic goddess kind of vibe. It makes you want to maybe say, hey, I don't mind working from home. Maybe I could do this. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to raise a family. Maybe, all these things. If you're at a different stage in your life and, having children isn't, either you don't want children or you're just not in that place anymore, and maybe you're in a negative relationship, the Queen of Pentacles still can be about getting in touch with that side of yourself, what we call the softer side. This is also the intuitive side and the earthy. The pentacles relate to earth, the earth mother vibe, the gardener, somebody who's hugging trees, and that sort of thing. Why? Because the queen represents the water element, and that's about intuition and things like that, and you have the earth, and these things nourish us. Fire is, you think about fire, it can scorch things, and it can it can light other fires, it can kind of spread the enthusiasm. And you are that kind of cheerleader, but you may not be getting, maybe you're not nurturing yourself. Perhaps you need to mother yourself in order to fully be ready for a relationship. Even if you're single, you may be neglecting certain things that make it possible for you to be receptive to love. And that also goes back to the Eight of Swords. The higher message is the Wheel of Fortune. And this, to me, this is about cycles in life, respecting them, understanding them, and when I say understanding, meaning that, this too shall pass if you feel like misaligned in some way. And when it comes to love, that's the one thing that I feel is very difficult to, control. And I was just thinking, I was getting a little bit distracted because there was a time when I was doing personal readings that love readings were my number one reading. And I think that was due to a general popularity in love readings, which I think has waned in some cases. Maybe not for everybody, but in some cases it has. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't kept up with them every month as I used to do. But I used to get a lot of those. And one of the things that I can tell is that certain people, they're very successful professionally, and they think that they can apply those principles to finding a partner where they can just kind of go after something and they're going to get it. And they find out that it doesn't work that way. And with Leo, a lot of times what will happen is that you will go after, if you go after somebody aggressively, this could be male or female, you pursue somebody, and maybe there's that sense of them, kind of being more of the submissive person, not, you don't have to chase them necessarily. They might give in right away. But there's not necessarily that sense of stimulation in the relationship that you, I won't say all of you need, but maybe a lot of you do need. So that is kind of the challenge is understanding that you can't just, if you pursue somebody like that, what you could end up with is somebody who is very passive, and while initially it may seem like a good thing, eventually you'll get bored, or you won't respect that person because you'll feel like they're weak. And it's not necessarily that they are weak, it's just that for what your needs are, you need somebody that's going to make you rise to the occasion. And so it's funny that I'm saying all of this, because then we get the challenge card, and it's the Ace of Wands. And if you were trying to start a relationship with an Aries person specifically, I always think of Aries with this card. Of course, the other fire signs are your sign, Leo, and Sagittarius. But there's something about that, talking about that Wheel of Fortune, the timing of something. Maybe you've met somebody and you felt this sense of passion, but it didn't take off. It doesn't mean that it can't. But sometimes we meet people at times in their life where they're going through some stuff, and of course one of them can be that they are involved with somebody else. And sometimes what will happen is the other person will say, you know, I'm in the process of getting divorced. I'm still working out some of these things, and when I get divorced, I'll call you. I'll let you know if you're still available. And that could be like the best possible scenario of one of those types of situations. But, you know, other examples can simply be that the person is moving far away, and there's just no opportunity to do this. So it's all about timing. If it's meant to be, it will happen. Also with the Ace of Wands, it can be this feeling of not wanting to get started, of feeling kind of complacent in life. And whether this is because you've come out, maybe the Eight of Swords is coming out of a bad relationship where you did not honor yourself and you kind of believed what this person was saying about you, and now you're a little bit leery of trying again because you don't want another person like that. So you're, you know, we're not like just either or. Sometimes we have these strong feelings like, I don't know if I can do this. And we're kind of like a little bit questioning our ability to trust and to even want to go through it again. I can totally understand if somebody's had a bad experience why that would be. Just know that you're fire, so you love to get going. Oh, you know, you're a fixed sign, Leo, so there can be sometimes that sense of not wanting to upset the apple cart in your life. And that can keep you kind of stuck, I guess. But what's coming in is represented by the Page of Cups, and this is a card that's associated with Pisces. This is also a trusting card. It can be a new beginning with a water sign like Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And I think the next video I'm going to do is with Leo and Scorpio, because those two signs tend to find each other. And so this person, if they're not a water sign, this can just be like the beginning stages of a relationship where you feel a spiritual affinity for this person, an emotional affinity. And then the outcome is the Eight of Pentacles. This can be a great card for this type of relationship. It can be very fruitful and, you know, like productive, which doesn't sound very sexy. But what I mean is that it is beneficial to both people in a tangible way. It's not something that is just like all hearts and flowers, but, you know, whether it's real or an illusion is a different story. So The 8, I like that too because you are the number 8 in the major arcana with the strength card. Although some decks have 11, but we won't talk about that. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.